Hello, CENTCOM Joint Force Planners. I am Captain Carmilya Jones, and I will be discussing the operational approach I developed to address the current situation in the Strait of Hormuz and in the Middle East. Here you will see the problem statement, which addresses the issue of Iran seeking to achieve regional hegemony in the Middle East through its closure of the Strait of Hormuz, which is a key economic choke point for many Arab states, especially Saudi Arabia. Alongside is the militarization and occupation of several islands in the region and seizure of Saudi oil fields. Lastly, Iran supports and supplies violent extremist organizations or VOs and is building power projecting nuclear and space programs. To eliminate the tensions causing this problem, Iranian threats and developments must be degraded and eventually cease altogether. Thankfully, the United States has the support of the Cooperation Council for Arab States of the Gulf, also known as CCASGs, to counter Iranian threats and demilitarization of the Straits Islands. The CCASG also seeks to establish a peaceful, prosperous, and stable Middle East region. However, as Iran continues to advance its technologies and global VO reach, these desired conditions are threatened. Alongside those challenges lies the limitation of POTUS being the sole decision authority and whether or not the U.S. can act. Taking in consideration the current conditions operating in Iran's efforts to control the Strait of Hormuz and the desired end state for a safe and secure AOR with the support of a unified CCASG, I have developed an operational approach with two lines of effort and two lines of operations. The first line of effort seeks to support and empower allies in the Middle East and gain their support to act in the region. We hope to do so by establishing and continuing beneficial relationships with key actors such as Egypt, Oman, and Bahrain, who have long supported U.S. involvement. Also, we will create new trade agreements with countries suffering economically due to Iran's threats, like Yemen. Another high priority is to recoup Saudi oil fields stolen by Iran and provide security assistance to prevent another seizure. The second line of effort targets degrading and impeding the global Islamic Caliphate and VOs, which are a key center of gravity for the Iranian government in establishing global power. First, we must disrupt their weapon supply and training provided by Iran. De-weaponizing or decreasing their capabilities will help to marginalize their influence in recruiting efforts. Next, eliminating key leaders and disrupting communication lines will greatly inhibit command and control that feed terrorism acts against the U.S. and its allies. The first line of operations places U.S. and allied air and naval forces in and around strategic operating bases for offensive operations to demilitarize Iranian forces off the Straits Islands. With the help of Bahrain and Oman providing base access, aircraft have hubs to refuel and make as home bases. With this support, we can establish air superiority as well as move in naval vessels to establish maritime superiority. This mass show of force, ready for preemptive strike or counterattack in case of Iranian attack, will be key to defeating occupying Iranian ground forces. As a result, we can take back those islands and make them a neutral zone for trade and movement. The final line of operations seeks to establish free access to oil drilling and freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz by first establishing stable port infrastructure to increase oil exportation and merchant trade. Securing routes in and out of the strait is also crucial to prevent the rise of Iranian aggression or that of any other state actor such as China, who seeks to control oil in the region. Lastly, international law must be reestablished and reinforced in the international strait according to the 1982 United Nations Law of the Sea Convention. The Strait of Hormuz is the only means to reach the open sea from the Persian Gulf. Without removing Iranian closure of the strait, economies are sure to crumble. In conclusion, Iran's threat to establish permanent control over the Strait of Hormuz will have severe economic consequences if not addressed with the support of Arab state allies. Again, I am Captain Carmilya Jones, and this is my operational approach.